Send help, man. Um, this is first and foremost. This is a movie. And I kept telling myself this throughout like while watching the third act of this movie. Man, I kept telling myself this. I was on the phone with the missus. I kept telling her too. I was like, listen, this doesn't feel like a Sam Raimi movie. This doesn't look like a Sam Raimi movie. And granted, I said the same thing about Drag Me to Hell when I watched it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to a certain like aesthetic when it comes to Sam Raimi movies, like the Evil Dead trilogy, maybe something like Darkman, maybe something like Spider-Man trilogy. Um, but this didn't feel like a Sam Raimi movie, and that's not really necessarily a bad thing. I love when directors just they kind of step out of their comfort zone. I feel like that's something that is sometimes important to do, but also I do want my classic directors to have a certain stamp on their films to where I can familiarize myself with it. But nonetheless, man, send help. Listen, this is this is misery on a motherfucking island, yo. Um, I would like it's a lot going on in this movie, man. Rachel McAdams, she plays like this. I don't know if she's a receptionist or whatever she is. She works for this corporation, and Dylan O'Brien, I think, is the guy's name. From the Maze Runner and all of that shit. He is the shittiest fucking employer, boss, whatever suit that you could ever work for. He is the biggest piece of shit immediately, and it's just like I don't know where this movie's gonna go, but I hope that you meet like the most like the worst fate that you possibly could have. I'm not saying he deserves to die for being a piece of shit, but you deserved to go through whatever turmoil that this movie took you through. She took him through there, as they be saying, yo. Like I'm telling y'all. And Rachel McAdams is just this. She's very like Selena Kyle, you know. She's like very quaint, and she's just like, oh, I'm sorry, like I made a mistake, I fucked up. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to beat the shit out of me? I'm sorry. I don't even know. I'm fired. Oh, I'm sorry. Like it was my fault that I got fired. Like she's just so fucking like just calm and just mousy about everything. But when they get stranded on that motherfucking island, this girl is no joke. Rachel McAdams, listen, I already love this actress. Okay, I love Rachel McAdams. I did not like her in I think a couple Septembers ago. I watched Mean Girls. I think I did Mean Girls commentary for like Back to School edition, the theme I was doing, and I was like, damn, she's such a fucking like I hate her fucking character, but she's still a great actress, man. Obviously one of my favorite roles of hers was in The Notebook, man. She did a phenomenal job in that movie, but this one, yo, Rachel McAdams did her big one in this shit for sure, man. Because when they get on that island, Dylan O'Brien, he's just you think because you a man and because you was in charge back there, over yonder, that the rules still apply here. She lets him know quickly, we ain't at work, bruh. We ain't at work. I'm not your employee, and you ain't my motherfucking boss at this point. The rules out here are whatever we make it, and at this point, given the circumstances, the rules are what I make it, because she is a survivalist that we have never seen before. God damn, this girl knows how to live off the land, yo. She knows what neurotoxins are in certain animals, and she knows how to make shish kebabs, and she knows how to start fires and build rafts and shit like that. Yo, her survival skills, you put her and Sharni Vincent from Your Next, even though I can't fucking stand that movie. You put her and Sharni Vincent from Your Next in the same movie, the chances of survival are skyrocketed through the roof like we've never seen any final girl in any fucking movie, hands down. Rachel McAdams is amazing, and Dylan O'Brien is amazing at being a dick, even in the situations where he knows she's got one up on him, and he still tries to outsmart her. And at some point, she just keeps getting the drop on him, and I'm like, bruh, like at least just gracefully bow out of the fact that you're not in control of the situation. You either gotta fuck this girl and then kill her in her sleep, or you gotta fucking fuck this girl and live happily ever after on this island. You're not getting away from her. It's not gonna happen, yo. It's not gonna happen. Even the moments where he is inches away from getting the drop on her, she still outsmarts him. And it's a lose-lose situation for Dylan O'Brien every single time that he gets a bright idea. And that's one of the genius parts of this movie, man. It's the fact it is very much misery. Paul Sheldon and Annie Wilkes. Rest in peace, shout out to James Caan, man, and shout out to Kathy Bates. But this is very much like where Paul Sheldon kept trying to outsmart her, she was just 10 steps ahead every time. And even if she wasn't 10 steps ahead, she would find out that he was trying to get away. And she's like, no, like, you belong to me at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a moment where, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but somebody shows up on the island. And I was like, wait, how the fuck did they find these people on this, or stranded on this island? But somebody shows up and it does not go well. It doesn't go well at all, man. The biggest complaint that I can give this movie, as much as I enjoyed it, man, there's some cringe moments in this shit. There's a moment where I thought something was happening. It didn't happen, but I thought it was happening, and it is a 10 out of 10 fake out from Sam Raimi, yo, because you think something's happening, and it's like, oh shit, like she didn't just do what I think she did to him, did she? And then you find out it's something different, and I was like, oh thank God. It's like, it was one of those moments, man, because as a man, I was like, holy shit, she didn't just do that. I know he's an asshole, but Jesus Christ, man, he doesn't deserve that. But it was a nice little fake, it was an amazing fake out moment. But if there's any criticisms I can give this, the main one is the ending of the movie was ass. You know, the ending of this movie, I was like, wait, after all of that, as great, I'm not even gonna say good, as great as this movie was going, as a isolated film that could have been an indie film if it wasn't for certain special effects. You know, Sam Raimi had to throw some shit in there, you know what I'm saying? Which had to remind everybody, yo, I'm Sam Raimi, I'm doing this, right? Here you go. And then it's just like, all right, cool. Like, this is a Sam Raimi movie for sure with that effect. But with the exception of that, this definitely could have been like an indie film, and is very much isolated, where these two characters have to carry this film with their performances and their actions. You know, there are other people that pop up at times, maybe two to four characters pop up briefly at times, but for the most part, it's just these two. You know, these two carrying this film. But as great as this movie was, that ending, I was like, for real? I was like, that's it? Like, and I was like, yo, is it a post-credit scene? Is it a stinger in the mid-credits? And my lady was just like, no. She's like, no, it's not. She was like, yo, she said, I said the same thing when I watched it. And we actually watched it together, but I ended up falling asleep towards the tail end of it. And she was like, yo, I need you to finish watching this movie. So I watched the rest of it while I was talking to her, and I was on the phone baffled. And I was like, yo, I was like, it's a mid-credit scene, right? It's an end credit scene. She was like, no, that's how it ends. And I'm like, yo, that ending was complete bullshit. Sam Raimi, you could have done better. That ending was ass, trash, whatever you want to call it, trash truck juice, grease trap nonsense. That ending was ass. But other than that, the rest of this movie is really good, man. I love these movies where you have to, your resources are limited. You ain't got cell phones and GPS and all this tech savvy shit to where you can figure out the situation as quickly as you normally would. Like, this is an endurance test at the end of the day, man. And I love movies like that, yo. I love movies where you have to find out how resourceful you can get, just how much you have to use your smarts, you know, whether it's street smarts or whatever the case may be, man. And like I said, Rachel McAdams, this might be my favorite performance from her. You know, because she gets to be happy, and she gets to be sad, and then she gets to be like crazy, and she goes through every different emotion, man. This movie's great. She does a phenomenal fucking job in this movie with this role. Like, I will go back and forth between this and The Notebook as far as my favorite performances go, but this one, like, she did her big one with this shit, and Sam Raimi brought the best out of her for sure. Dylan O'Brien does a great job too. You know, the supporting cast is cool, whatever. I didn't really care about them. Like, my main focus was the main two characters on here. But I'm telling y'all, man, if you were stranded on an island with Rachel McAdams, you better play nice. You better play nice, and you better talk to her nice. I'm telling you, because if you have not seen this movie, please watch it. Like, this is definitely one that I recommend, especially if you're a fan of these two. Because there's moments like Misery where you think they are going to work things out and maybe they'll get along, but it's like, nah, somebody has an agenda behind those smiling faces and those cooperative actions. You know what I'm saying? So I love this movie. This movie was great. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. But that ending, that's what keeps you from a 10. But the movie, solid fucking movie. Glad I watched it.